He left me room though, so I snored.
You alright, Mark? Hello. How are you? Hello. Nice to meet you. Where did you make it?
Already. You can't break it. It's on the plate here.
Well, thanks very much for your kind applause there, and thanks, Pete, for the music. I know that's you. Thanks a lot. Well, we've got an enormous amount to get through tonight, so I shall crack on. Well, firstly, I'd like to thank everybody for coming this evening to this awards dinner. As Steve just mentioned, it is in conjunction with my testimonial year, and so your support here tonight was absolutely vital. And once again, it's been a fantastic turnout, so thanks very much for that.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you very much indeed. Good evening, everybody. I think the last time I spoke to quite a few of you was at your Champions dinner down the road at the Royal Lancaster back in July. The one thing I like about this football club, any excuse for a dinner or a night out, you take it. And I seem to remember saying there, when one or two of you were a bit apprehensive about coming up into the Premiership, don't worry about it at all. There is no way that you're going to get relegated. One of the few predictions I did get right last season, by the way. But I'm absolutely delighted how well you've done. It's got to be one of the best seasons in your history, I would imagine. The top 10 of the Premiership is a fantastic achievement. It's great clubs like yourselves and Ipswich have done so well. And at this side, I'd just like to congratulate you all on a terrific achievement. It's funny when you move around in football, everyone has nice things to say about Charlton. The progress that you have made in recent years is a tribute to everybody involved in the club. It really is a remarkable story. My ITV colleague David Moss and the team have had a really tough task of condensing this story into 12 minutes of footage. So if you take a look at the screens around you in the room, settle back and enjoy it, because I know you're in for a real treat.
Kishishev. Grimondi's head, Stewart. And in by the man in full, Jonathan Johansson.
New Year's Day 2001. Another home victory for Charlton Athletic, and further proof that South East London has a vibrant football club in its midst once again. A club determined to recapture former glories. A golden era of halcyon days when Charlton were one of English football's leading lights. The late 30s and 1940s were, of course, troubled times in Britain, But Charlton fared better than most. And on a memorable day in 1944, US General Dwight Eisenhower presented Don Welsh with the League South Cup at Wembley Stadium. But it's the FA Cup which still takes pride of place. April 1947. Charlton 1, Burnley 0. Welsh, Bartram, Croker, Shreve, Johnson, Phipps, Revel, Hurst, Dawson, Robinson, Duffy, and all managed by the great Jimmy Seed. For 10 more years, Charlton would rub shoulders with England's elite, playing in front of packed crowds. The Valley was an exciting place to be, but a lack of reinvestment, coupled with relegation in 1957, signalled a change of fortune. Decades rolled by, players came and went, and Charlton flattered to deceive. The club had failed to capitalise on its popularity. The facilities remained untouched. And then, financial suicide in the 80s. Entrepreneurial chairman and a disillusioned audience proved a lethal cocktail. Charlton spiralled out of control. These depressing pictures of a once famous stadium overgrown and lying in ruin tell it all. Here was living proof that a football club has to be well maintained from top to bottom. But this club is special. The diehards even entered the world of politics. Their determination to end the club's exile knew no bounds. The new board secured ownership of the Valley, and working with the fans, any financial shortfalls were overcome. Charlton's nomadic existence lasted 7 years, and despite 4 seasons back in the top flight, a generation of fans had been lost. The 5th of December 1992 was an emotional day in Charlton's history, and I, for one, felt privileged to witness such a great event.
Britt. Towards Leeburn. Certainly got the pace and the power. Finding Pitcher, and a shot, and a goal by Walsh for Charlton, and it becomes the perfect start. Well, they've dreamed about this for so long. After 7 long years of playing at Selhurst and playing at Upton Park, they're back at home in the finest possible style.
Yes, Charlton were back at the Valley, and the fans had plenty to shout about. Led by visionary chairman Richard Murray, the board of directors expanded the club throughout the 90s. Both on and off the pitch, Charlton's efforts were gathering momentum. It was the playoff final of 1998, though, that woke up the rest of the country to what was being achieved at Charlton. Alan Kirbishley was recognised as one of the country's leading young managers. The Valley had been upgraded to a 20,000 all-seater stadium, and now Charlton were within touching distance of the Premiership.
Mendonca's clear. Clive Mendonca! Charlton lead! Keith Jones. Now Clive Mendonca. Mendonca's in the clear. Chance for Clive Mendonca. 2-2. Perez has come again. The header is goal-bound from Richard Rufus. Steve Jones inside the penalty area. Good cross. Mendonca! It's extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. A hat-trick for Clive Mendonca. It's 4-4. Michael Gray, born in Sunderland. Illich has saved it! And Charlton are promoted! The club that started the decade without home, without hope, will head into 1999 in the highest league of them all. Mark Kinsella, like the club he's so proud to lead, has completed the final climb, and Charlton, good old down-to-earth, feet on the ground Charlton, can once again reach for the skies.
A truly amazing day. But Charlton were not about to mortgage their future. Tough business decisions were made that would upgrade the football club, but not beyond its means. They may have lost their Premiership status first time round, but they bounced back bigger and stronger. A championship trophy for a club whose players are at one with the fans and whose fans are at one with the players. A club where the board of directors respect the paying customer and have total belief in the constitutional decisions that they make. Charlton Athletic stands for something special in the modern game, and the club's infrastructure suggests it can go from strength to strength. From top to bottom, Charlton are getting it right.
We moved back here 7.5 years ago, and as a club we've progressed every year, and I think we've shown that progression, and let's hope we can keep it going.
You know, we take great heart that we gave it a bit of a go last time, and I'm sure if we can strengthen the squad, which we need to do, obviously, we'll give it a right go next year. And if we can stay there, this club has got a future as being one of the big lights in the Premiership, because we know we can sell this out twice over.
Millions were spent on new players who would integrate within a tightly knit squad, where team spirit has always been the highest priority. Sponsorship deals reached record levels. The Valley was sold out yet again, and Charlton have displayed the skill and determination required to re-establish themselves in the top 20.
It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day. Don't let it get away. It's a beautiful day. Don't let it get away. Beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
It's been an amazing transformation from those dark days of the 80s. This unique football club has reinvented itself. The mistakes of the past will never happen again. Charlton Athletic is a club reborn with strong leadership and a desire to be the very best. To help achieve that goal, they're raising the roof of the famous old covered end as the Valley expands to meet demand that far outweighs its present capacity. It won't be the final stage of development, of course, as the ground is transformed into a top-of-the-range 21st century facility. The Premiership is the place to be. Football has never had it so good, and Charlton are striving for perfection.
I think we are the success story of London football this year. We've had a great time at the Valley. Anybody who's been down here every week has seen some fabulous games, and I truly believe there are really exciting times ahead for all Charlton supporters.
It's a beautiful day. Don't let it get away. Beautiful day.
That's a fantastic story, ladies and gentlemen, and a lovely piece of work as well. And well done, David, over there. He'll hate me for saying it again, but that's a very emotional video. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Let's go to the awards element of the evening, shall we? Tonight's event, as you've heard, is sponsored by GE Americom, and I'd now like to welcome the Managing Director of GE Americom, Mr. Eddie Franklin, to join me up here on stage. Eddie. Okay then, our first award of the evening, it is the Charlton Athletic Goal of the Season. Quite a few contenders, and here are your top 6.
Charlton have made the strongest start here. This is Powell. Jensen. Good running by Hunt. Oh, he's onside as well. It's Andy Hunt, chance again, goal! Moment of jubilation for Charlton and their supporters. The first goal of the season at the Valley in the Premiership, and it's last season's top scorer, Andy Hunt.
Looking for Lisby over on this side. Not off for Shields. All there, this is Shields. And there are 5 if he can find one. And it's 2-2! Johansson gets his reward at last.
It'll be John Salako with the corner. Klaus Jensen has come short for him here. Still Jensen. Oh, magnificent goal! What a strike then from Klaus Jensen.
Pumped away by Rufus. Gathered by Kinsella. Neat exchange of passes with Svensson. Kinsella again. Stewart. Svensson. Stewart. Graham Stewart. Oh, it's really well worked. What a smashing goal for Stewart and for Charlton. The sort of football those people love to pay to watch.
Chef, Parker, Jensen. Slip back to him by Kishishev. Jensen again. It's an easy ball on here for Powell. Oh, Bartlett. Svensson, can he keep it down? He can. He finds the corner. Fans come from across, and Charlton lead Newcastle 1-0.
Goals.
I have to say, I was at this match, and the moment the ball left his foot, I knew it was in the net and I was up. The winner is Sean Bartlett.
Many congratulations. BBC Match of the Day voted it the overall goal of the season anywhere last night, didn't they?
I believe so, yeah.
That didn't come as news to you, I know that. From your point of view, the best goal you've scored?
I would definitely say, yeah, especially with my weaker foot as well, so I'm quite delighted about that.
What made it so special from your point of view, do you think?
I think the way I struck the ball and the goalkeeper was just stranded, and I was amazed by the excitement and just the applause from the fans.
As a relative newcomer to Charlton Athletic Football Club, just to sum up the special qualities of the place for us, could you?
If I could say, I think that goal probably just summed up the whole season. It's been a great season. The guys have been working really hard and just competitive, fighting for each other, and I think that's what makes us a successful team.
You enjoy playing your football at Charlton?
Definitely, and hopefully I'll be here a couple more years.
Let's hope so. Sean Bartlett, thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Well done. And that takes us to our award for the young player of the season. There are a whole clutch of youngsters who've impressed at Charlton this season. Players like Charlie McDonald and John Fortune have featured in first-team squads. Alex Martin and Michael Turner have spent a year with Inter Milan, and Alex is now an England under-17 international. Adrian Dean has received international recognition with the Republic of Ireland. Stacey Long and Oze Sankofa have played for England at under-15 level. Neil McCafferty has represented the Republic of Ireland and was called up to the first-team squad for the Manchester United match. I'd like you now to congratulate them all. Thank you. But in terms of impact on the first team, two players stood out. Paul Konchesky, very talented left back. He had the difficult task of competing with England's Chris Powell for a place in the team. Paul's time will surely come. He's acquitted himself with great distinction every time he's played in the first team this season. But Scott Parker has literally forced himself into the first team since Christmas, and he's now realising his true potential. Everyone at the club knows what an outstanding player Scott is. He surely must be an England player of the future. Okay, Eddie, you are on again to reveal the young player of the year. In you come.
And the winner is Scott Parker.
Now, Scott, before you come up, before Scott comes up, and he'll be here very shortly, just take a look at the screens, could you?
This commercial is dedicated to all those who know what practice makes, and that McDonald's do takeaway.
It could be Borges. That would have been one of the goals of the season had it gone in. Fantastic ability.
Charlton Young Player of the Year. Scott, come and have a chat over here before you... Come on. Don't give me a blank up here now. That's not on. Eh? That's not on. You expecting a Big Mac here tonight, are you? Or?
Not tonight.
Oh. I mean, when you look at that, proud, embarrassed, what are the emotions about that commercial?
Embarrassing, I suppose. I just wish it was all forgot about, but something I've got to carry on my shoulders.
It didn't do you any harm in the long run, I don't think, did it?
No, not too much. Not too much.
I can remember, I chatted to you, you had a game against Leeds that I came to see, yeah. And it was a pretty abrasive sort of game. You were up against the Batties and the Bowyers in there, and it was a pretty tough one for you, and I got the impression you were learning a lot about the Premiership in that game. Do you think it's been that sort of season for you?
Yeah, I think it's sort of been about learning, really, you know, coming aside, and it's been tough, but, you know, I had a word off of John Humphries about the David Batty incident. He was fuming with me that I shook his hand. But, you know, I've learned next year won't happen.
You picked on a pretty hard case in David Batty there, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I suppose I did really.
just a word as the young player of the year about how this football club looks after its young players and perhaps gets the best out of you.
Yeah, I think it's well known that Charlton's been a great thing for youth, and you know, I'm just one of them who's come through along with Paul.
Good. Scott, thanks for chatting.
Thanks a lot.
Enjoy your meal.
Cheers.
Now, while we are honouring young players, we shouldn't forget Pierre Boulanger, who died in such tragic circumstances at the start of this season. Now, ask any player who's vote counts more than anything, and they'll tell you it's receiving an accolade from their fellow professionals, and Charlton Athletic Football Club have a terrific group of professionals. I know they'd all want me to give a mention here to Andy Hunt, top scorer in your promotion year and sadly forced to retire this week. Thank you. Well, the Charlton players nominated their own Player of the Year, and that makes our next award very special indeed. There have been some truly outstanding contributions from all concerned. There has to be a winner. Here's your top three.
And it's left for Jensen.
Only Jensen in the centre. That might be enough. It is 2-1.
Charlton try and break away. It's Klaus Jensen. Darryl Powell getting towards him. Jensen's past him. Could be two.
They don't bark and they don't bite. They keep their screws to keep it tight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. One more time, we're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, alright, don't stop the dancing. One more time, we're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, alright, don't stop the dancing. One more time, we're gonna celebrate.
Charlton are back in front.
Stop the dancing. One more time, we're gonna celebrate.
And it in. Final touch from Richard Rufus.
One more time, we're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, alright, don't stop the dancing. One more time, we're gonna celebrate. Oh yeah, don't stop the dancing. One more time. One way out is all you're ever going to get from those who have.
What a superb goal.
Such a cause they put words into your mouth. They're making you feel so ashamed. They're making you take in the blame. They're making you cold in the night. They're making you question your heart and your soul.
Puts the seal on a terrific display from the away team. Stewart, Graham Stewart. Oh, it's really well worked. Hanson freeing Stewart, who was too clever for Nolan.
Okay, there you go then, Eddie, for the GE Americon Charlton Athletic Players Player of the Year. Klaus Jensen, Richard Rufus, or Graham Stewart.
I'm glad I don't have to make the decision because they're all my best players, including JJ. The winner is Richard Rufus.
Come on, Richard, you can't. Richard, many congratulations.
Cheers.
Very well done. Sum up the season for us, could you?
In a nutshell, I think we surprised everybody, and to finish ninth in the league, obviously that's really good for the club, and I'm just hopefully the players, obviously, well done.
Sure. I mean, did the players themselves feel a little bit surprised that you ended up so high then?
Quite a few players at the start of the season, our aim was to finish, let's say, about 4th, 5th from bottom or so, but to finish ninth, as I say, it's a really tremendous achievement.
And from your point of view, what about your own contributions this season? It's always hard for a player to talk about yourself, I know that, but what do you feel you've brought to the squad and the team this season?
You have to ask the players about that, Jim.
I will do. I'll ask them afterwards.
well
Don't worry. Don't worry. But it's fair to say, second time round the Premiership, did you personally find it a bit easier to cope with?
I say yeah, because when we got relegated, I learned quite a lot, as I say, with the players as well, got relegated. And this year, we just try to build on what we've done last season.
Good, you did that very well indeed. Richard, thanks very much. Thanks for not giving me a blank, by the way. I don't want to walk away. Well done, Richard. Well, when Lenny Lawrence left the club back in July 1991 to join Middlesbrough, few Charlton fans would have believed the impact that his replacement would have on the club for the next 10 years. Alan Kirbishley has brought unprecedented success to the club. He's earned the right to be compared to the legendary Jimmy Seed, who we saw in the video at the start of the evening. Last season's record-breaking performances when winning the Championship of the Football League, followed by this season's marvellous achievements in the FA Premier League, have confirmed Alan Kirbishley's position as one of the most outstanding young managers in football. Alan is also one of the longest-serving managers in the game. He's been in charge of the first team, would you believe it, on over 500 occasions. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's sponsors, GE Americom, would like to formally acknowledge the outstanding role that Alan has played in the emergence of Charlton Athletic as a major force in the modern game. Our first Special Achievement Award tonight goes to Alan Kirbishley. Alan, we've done enough sort of question and answers in television studios, haven't we? So I think I might just stand back and say the floor is yours. You say what you like to say, really.
I thought you was going to ask me that question again.
No, not me. I know the answer.
I'd just like to thank everybody, obviously, on the walls. I think the first thing about this sort of evening is people like Stevie Brown, who deserve this sort of turnout. And I think it's quite unique. I think we've got another couple of players rolling off soon. I think Robbo and Richard Rufus should be the next two people. And, you know, I think that sums the club up, that we've had so many people coming through having testimonials, that they stay around for so long. I think looking at this season, I see the players coming up, and, you know, I was trying to think that what stands out for me. And there's two things, really. I think the first thing is that the fact that I think it's gone unnoticed that we've had a tremendous amount of injuries this year. And it is the squad that has got us to ninth in the league. Not just the players that have received the awards here tonight, but the squad. Players have come. We've only had 3 players that have played over 30 games. And we've chopped and changed and moved people around and asked people to play out of position. So I think the whole squad deserve a round of applause. But in saying that, you know, I've only just got over yesterday. It was about the first drink I've had on that table when I got over it. You know, I was a little bit disappointed with them, and I'll let them know. You know, we've finished 9th, but we've lost our last 2 games, so we may have finished a little bit higher, and that's what we've got to strive for. I was disappointed with the last 20 minutes, and I said to them yesterday that, you know, that's not us, and we've got to kick up the bum, I think, last year against Ipswich, and we went on from that. And we managed to ruin a few parties. We won't ruin this one. This has got to be a celebration. I think that what we've achieved has gone a little bit unnoticed, but not by people that know. I think the people that know about football realise how far we've come as a club and how well we've done this year. I think looking at that tape sums up a lot of things. I'd like to thank, obviously, Mervyn Day and Keith Peacock and all the other people that perhaps don't get a mention because it's the players and myself that get all the attention. Secondly, the board. I think that, you know, just looking at that tape again, enabling us to do what we've done. But I think this year, apart from the squad situation, the other thing that comes to mind, and most managers comment on it, is the atmosphere at the Valley. And I think that that has contributed to us doing so well this year, because teams are coming there and they're not happy. Liverpool walked away with it yesterday in the end, and they were smiling a little bit, but I don't know about next year. I don't think they'll be coming into the Valley thinking they've got an easy time, because that first 50 minutes, I think, showed everybody that what we can do. And let's have a bit more of that, please, boys, and not the last 20 minutes.
Thank you, Alan. Now, obviously, and quite rightly, when the plaudits are given out at the end of a successful football season, most of the praise goes to the players, the team management and coaching staff, and certainly no one in the game would begrudge the pats on the back that Alan, Mervyn, Keith and all the players have received and are receiving tonight. However, it's too often forgotten that to have a chance of being successful on the pitch, you have to get it right off the pitch as well, and there's no doubt, as we've seen already, that Charlton Athletic have certainly been doing just that. Under the astute leadership of Richard Murray and his fellow directors, Charlton Athletic have been able to effect what is without doubt one of the most remarkable turnarounds in the history of the beautiful game. You all know the story by now, you've lived it, you've seen the pictures tonight. But when those clubs currently going through hard times need a bit of inspiration, and as an Oxford supporter, I know what we're talking about here, believe me, you surely need to look no further than the Valley. Charlton Athletic was saved from oblivion at the very last minute in 1984. Over these past 17 years, Charlton fans have experienced every emotion possible. The despair of leaving the Valley to move in with Crystal Palace, the frustration which led to the formation of the Valley Party, the overwhelming elation of that return to the Valley, the pure ecstasy of the playoff final victory against Sunderland at Wembley, the disappointment of relegation from the Premier League, the sheer joy of becoming champions of the Football League for the very first time, and bringing you right up to date, the undiluted pleasure that the team's performances have given all Charlton fans this past season to finish in the top 10 of the Premier League. Now, without doubt, Charlton's position as one of the top 10 clubs in the country has been underpinned by the vision, the drive, the commitment and the astute business skills of Richard Murray and his colleagues. And it's entirely right that tonight's sponsors, GE Americom, should publicly recognise the immense contribution that Richard has made to the success story that is Charlton Athletic. So, ladies and gentlemen, our second GE Americom Special Achievement Award goes to Richard Murray. Richard, the floor's yours.
Thanks. People who know me know I don't say too much, but I've got to say thank you very much to everybody. I do really appreciate this award. So much good has happened to Charlton over the last 10 years, and I mean, it's culminated in our best finish for almost 50 years, and a long waiting list for season tickets, even though we're going to go up to 26,500 next year. So many people have helped me make this club what it is today, and unfortunately there's too many to mention. But I think there's three people I'd like to mention. One is Martin Simons and my co-directors, who helped finance this club for so many years when we couldn't afford to pay the bills. Secondly, I'd like to thank Alan. He's done a wonderful job on the pitch, and really for the first 8 years of his management career, he had no money to play with whatsoever. And I think he's done exceptionally well, and when he did have money, he's made sure that his purchases have been good ones. And the third person I'd like to mention is Peter Varney, because you cannot compete in the Premier League these days unless you have a good off-the-field operation. And Peter is a great businessman and administrator at Charlton Athletic. I think everybody knows we're a very unique and special club. We have a family atmosphere, which I'm going to intend to keep on, and we have a community spirit. And I think it's very appropriate that Steve Brown tonight should be celebrating his testimonial year. I think Steve is the perfect example of what I call a Charlton athletic footballer. I think stability is the cornerstone of the success we've had at Charlton, and whether it be at board level, at management level, or at player level, I can assure everybody that I'll be doing everything in my power to make sure all the key people are here, and all the key people at Charlton are both here next year and for many years to come. I'm pleased that I'm here among friends and among my extended family at Charlton Athletic. So thank you very much.
Richard, thank you very much indeed. Eddie, you're done up here now. Thanks very much for your help. Thank you. Well, we do just have one final presentation to make. Charlton now boast an array of international players. We congratulate them all on their recognition. Most of us in this room are probably supporters of England. It's not often Charlton have fielded an England international, so I'm delighted to welcome the former Charlton first team coach. He's now a key member of the England setup, Mr. Les Reed, and Les is going to present an England cap to your very own Chris Powell. Hey, Les. All right, pal. Where is he?
He doesn't want it.
He doesn't want it. There he is. Better late than never, Chris. Well done, mate. Good lad. Chris, put the hat on and come have a quick natter before you go. You can leave it on, I would, why not? One or two people might not know out there, called up once again by Sven-Göran Eriksson for the matches against Mexico and Greece. So you're not forgotten yet?
Not yet, no.
No. What does it mean to you that being part of the England setup?
It's something I always dreamed of, but never thought would happen, you know. But this season's been quite unbelievable for the club and obviously for myself. But you know, to play for England is every player's dream, you know, or Ireland or whatever country.
Yeah.
But it's been a fantastic year.
Do you feel the fact that Charlton did pretty well in the Premiership helped your cause?
Well, I think Alan dropping me helped me as well. So, I think it did.
That's those motivational skills, that is.
No, I think basically, if your team's doing well, and I think all the players, I think it's a testimony to them with me playing for England, because if they're not doing well, then you don't get noticed. So with the team doing very well, you know, people will sit up and take notice of us, and that's exactly what happened.
If you look back over the season, any particular highlight from you? It must have been the England appearance, I would imagine.
My first goal.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, basically, everyone was going on at me, and you know, I finally done it, albeit with my head, but I've done it. But yeah, the England thing was fantastic.
Good.
I mean, but sometimes I still can't believe it. It was actually me who played.
Well, you better believe it, because this is going to prove it to you. Put it on, off you go. Well done. Well done. There we are, just after 8 o'clock, as we promised, and that's these proceedings just about completed up here. On behalf of everybody at ITV Sport, I'd just like to congratulate you on a terrific season. I know you're going to have a good evening. On a personal level, I have to say I have misgivings about highly paid footballers getting testimonials, but I have no problems with that fellow over there who has given terrific service to this football club. Please support him as much as you can. Thanks very much indeed.